You may have heard about 3D printing in the news or on social media, but let us tell you a little about it. The members of Group 3 would like to tell you about this exciting technology. As we introduce the members of Group 3, let me give you an overview. 3D printing, or additive manufacturing, is a process of using technology to make objects by mixing multiple materials together. This is the opposite of subtractive manufacturing, where technology is used to strip off waste from a raw material to create a refined object, which is the most current way of making products. So let's get ready to go. If you want to take a digital document like this, a simple Word document, and print it, that is quite easy. Or if you want to print another type of document like a PDF such as this, it's also quite easy. To print either option on paper or two-dimensionally, it is done like this. We have all experienced our difficulties with printing in this fashion, so let me tell you about another option. One can use 3D printing to imagine almost anything and then create it using two or more different materials, a less difficult process compared to subtractive manufacturing. So if you want to take something like this, a three-dimensional computer rendering, and print it out on a gypsum or metal or plastic and turn it into something like this, a gypsum web that can now easily be done. The most common example of 3D printing is the technology that prints and develops prosthetics for those who might be missing limbs, or the printing of other items, such as a bike. If you want to do this, then you have to use a technology whose history dates back as far as 1984, when Chuck Hull invented stereolithography. It's called 3D printing. But how does it work? Let's watch and see. 3D printing starts with creating a virtual design using computer-aided design software. You can also download software from the internet. Once you create an image of the object you want, you then must set up parameters for your object to get printed, similar to printing on a regular piece of paper. For example, you must choose the material that the object should be made of, such as plastic or plaster. Then the printer lays out the material layer by layer, one on top of another, until the 3D object is created. The process can take hours or days, depending on how complex the object is. In this example of a 3D printer building of an object, you are watching a 1-minute fast video of 3D printer building a DNA model that would normally take 8 hours or more to print. This sped up view makes the process look very quick, but 3D printing can often take hours or even days, depending on the complexity of the item being printed. So what about history? With 1984 marking the birth of 3D printing, it was first patented in 1986 and was available to the public in 1988. In 1990, the first low-cost models were available, but it wasn't until 1996 that the term 3D printer was first used. In the early 2000s marked the introduction of medical printing, and in 2006, the self-replicating 3D printer was developed. In 2014, a Chinese company figured out how to 3D print a house, and the technology is still evolving to date. Wow, this is an amazing process. And it looks like it's almost done. This technology was patented in 1986 and uses a virtual design from computer software to apply the additive manufacturing process by mixing multiple materials together to create 3D objects out of metal, plastic, and gypsum. 3D printing is used by the government, the commercial sector, and by individual citizens. This includes doctors or pharmaceutical companies. 3D printing has even made it into space with NASA. Printed in space is now a real thing. Other government agencies are also using the technology. So what are the important issues about this technology? On the positive side, we can see there are many industries and people using this technology. 3D printing has a lot of positive issues. The potential of creating anything from organ tissue and cells to houses, clothes, and even foods. The potential also creates a dark side for 3D printing. The particle emission from printing can cause health issues, but another issue is the illegal manufacture of the following things: illicit drugs. 3D printers can be used to create hard control items such as bombs and guns. Illegal weapons or weapons parts can be made from homes such as assault rifles or even a completely 3D printed handgun. So what is the future of 3D printing? The ability to quickly prototype an item or produce a replacement part is an appealing prospect, but it does not fit every potential use case. Medical printing is an area with exciting prospects. In the commercial sector, an item can be 3D printed and then the size, fit, and durability can be tested for a final design when it's agreed upon. The best utility of technology is achieved with rapid prototyping that can be used for testing. Although this technology was invented some 30 years ago, it is ahead of its time. I hope you've learned a few things and enjoyed watching.